So before the elections in October 2023, before Mkhonto is a party was publicly announced, we had very long discussions, like it was a variety of other political parties as well, black progressive political parties.
Interesting.
And he gave a very interesting diagnosis of what are the problems of our politics in South Africa. He then gave an interesting diagnosis and even proper forecasting of what is going to happen.
Huh.
He said, look, I can see now that the ANC is totally captured by the white capitalist establishment, and they're going to force an alliance between the ANC and the Democratic Alliance, and that broadly will be an alliance with the neo-colonial West in terms of the agenda. And we can't fold our arms and not do anything about that. We need to consolidate. Let's form one organization. Let's form one platform, not just organization. Let's form one campaigning platform,
right,
which is going to resist such a total takeover, and then we must fight for two-thirds majority. Actually, the first time there was a talk of two-thirds majority was in October 2023. And of course, that time, it didn't sound believable. I was like,
yeah.
And then my input in that meeting was like, okay, of the parties that are here, the EFF is the biggest. Let's perhaps consider into, why don't we collapse everything else into EFF if you want to put an agenda? And then of course there was a deeper political characterization of the EFF, including identification of some of the subjective weaknesses that define the EFF, and which would make it impossible to constitute a broad front, or to be a broad front which could attract all sectors of society. And then we agreed in principle, by the way, that let's go and have the campaigns separately,
right,
but we will converge later on because our politics are more or less the same. Then we went into elections on the principle that no malignment against each other, no trying to delegitimize each other in terms of who is who and everything else there. But in principle, we are aligned in terms of the politics that we are in pursuit of. And one of those politics is the anti-colonial, anti-neoliberal, anti-racist politics, progressive agenda, return of the land, return of the natural resources to the control and benefit of majority of the people. So that is what got to happen. And then of course the election results came out. And he did not stay away from that commitment which came from October, because he had said, through some of the leaders who were there, that why is it that the EFF and all these other organizations are going to negotiate on what should happen with government separately? Why don't we negotiate as a bloc that we constituted? Let's go and talk in one voice so that there is clarity as to the politics that got to define South Africa moving forward. In actual fact, I know that even when the MKP came to parliament, he once raised the question, why are there separate caucuses? Because this is same politics. And that is one category of the diagnosis. And then the second most important thing which he, in his characterization of the politics of South Africa, was his illustration that most people don't realize why a white minority, which for the longest time was less than 5% of the population, got to be colonial conquerors and masters over a huge population for a long period of time. Then he says that they achieved that through divide and conquer, like that when we fought against colonial invasion, we fought as small clans and groupings.